Friends, colleagues and listeners, here we are, another short podcast with somebody who was really, really impressive during the Athens conference this year. And the person I'm talking about is Kristin Beck, who's a management advisor with Beacon Projects. And Kristin was part of a panel that was led by Abedin Dula on how to get younger generation more interested in our industry, and also how to get rid of old fogies like myself. So, Kristin, lovely to have you on board.
Thank you so much for having me, Chris. I'm really excited to do today's session, do a short recap of our great get-together and panel back in Athens. Look forward to doing it with you.
Lovely. Before we get into that, Kristin, I've got to say, for somebody who came to a conference for the first time like you did there, the amount of interaction, questions and involvement, and also the fact that you were one of the ever-present faces, for all of the panelists, the presentations of the sessions. Fair play to you. If I was wearing a hat, I'd take it off to you now. All right. But you really, really contributed so well. Great example.
Thank you.
So now, you know why you were invited and why you volunteered for this particular session. So can you just tell me, what were your expectations coming into the conference?
Well, generally, I would say that a conference like this in that format gives you a great opportunity to connect with the big players of our air cargo industry, meaning suppliers, our clients, potential leads, but it also gives you a great overview of the technologies that are currently evolving, and I love hearing about those. So new technologies, Cargo IQ initiative, who stands for what, who pushes forward in terms of digitalization, open APIs, connection. So these are the topics that I really, appreciate, that I heartfully feel like they can contribute a lot of value in our industry.
No, brilliant, well done. And like I said, your participation did as well. Now, with those opportunities for attending and your expectations for your specific panel, so the five of you, on a personal note, and being part of that group, what did you feel were the challenges you needed to overcome? And obviously, Abedin and myself, we were speaking about the fact that, it's easy to say that things are wrong or what's not right or why, but it's a different kettle of fish when you then have to come up with effective outcomes or solutions.
Mm-hmm.
The five of you, I know that you've discussed the storyline and the journey, and that this conference was just one of the first steps. So, what do you feel is next now for you and the group?
So first of all, I want to compliment Abedin on doing such a great job of preparing us. He really took the time, carved out the time in his very busy schedule to go through what we want to address. Because I totally agree with you, Chris. It's not about the problems. We want to make an impact. We want to change the way we attract people to our industry. It can't be that, somebody knows someone who then tells you about it. You got to put the word out. You got to go to universities. You got to really, stress the value. We all need air cargo. If you order something online nowadays on your cell phone, it's air cargo delivering that e-commerce to you probably the next day, right? So Abedin did a really great job of kind of structuring it with us. He took guidance and wishes from us, because I said we need to probably address that there are two roles, right? Operational level and graduates, and you got to attract people differently. So that's what I really valued about the session. And what's next is probably to do what we all suggested, right? So what we came up with as solutions, because it would be great for companies to just go there and take those solutions, new ways of working, new tech, going to unis, job exhibitions, everything, and just do a checklist. Okay, solution 1, solution 2, solution 3.
That's it. Kristin, you've got a great way of making things seem very easy and simple. So I must say, I'm looking forward to next year's event, because as you know, with agreement with Abedin, it's going to be about, structured solutions. So almost like, like a guideline or a guide list for companies who want to do certain things. Just follow these, because it will already be proven by you and your group that they're the most popular outcomes. And obviously, one of the things that we also spoke about, and I know you in your role will endorse this, is it's not just about principles and likes, loads of people would like to be able to do this, do that, do the other. But at the end of the day, it's basically, profit, performance, people. And it's a shame that it's sometimes in that order. But if it's not, you don't have enough money to invest. If your performance isn't doing well enough, you don't have enough customer satisfaction, so you can't focus on people. Whereas others tend to try and drive it from the other way around. And although, some would say you've got to invest in your people first, but you've got to be having that profit. The results matter.
No, I couldn't agree more. This is really what drives the topic that we spoke about, attracting young talent and retaining it. You can't retain someone if you only focus on the basic needs. You got to show up, you got to go to the shop floor, you got to appreciate people. I told that story about a VP that I know also from our daily business who went down to the shop floor and actually just brought something from the bakery, ask how the guys are doing, because they're the ones driving your operation. And it's so easy to make an impact without spending a lot of money. It's being kind, it's actively listening to people's needs. It's not only throwing a Christmas party, it's those small gestures where you can show that you really invest in your people, so that, if we look at a ground handler and they are in need of operational stuff, it shouldn't be that somebody just offers you 20% more and then you change, right? Yeah. Loyalty is the fact, it's the crucial factor that kind of keeps people interested in working for your company. So it's not just profit and money. For me, it's a people's business at its core. That's why I am working for the industry. And that's why I'm really fond of, getting the word out there of why it's so much fun to work with all the stakeholders involved.
Yeah, no, you're doing a good job, Kristin. And I agree with you there. And it's about, and people are probably fed up with me keep talking about this word, but it's about care. If people feel that you care as a business and as a leader, then they know there's some real value there. And then you get people who start to care about what they do instead of, the one thing that does me is when you ask somebody a question and they say, I'm juster. I'm juster is such a sad statement to come out with, Okay. It's not. Everybody is important in that, in their own part within the machinery. But what I just want to ask you on that one now, and we're talking about, I said profit, performance and people. Mm-hmm. Everybody in life, like it or not, always wants to be a winner or associated with a winner, or they like to support their teams and their teams are a winner, etc. And then you've got the loyalty element. So whether they win, lose or draw, they'll always be loyal to that because their parents or grandparents support the same team. So there's a lot of ingredients that if they're baked carefully and in the right way, they produce something special. Mm-hmm. And I got the opinion that's what you're driving for, because you at an early stage in your career have seen the vision of what can happen if you're able to motivate and lead people. And Kristin, I think one of the big things now is we've got to try and develop more characters and leaders within the business.
Obviously, my answer to that question is yes, we do. However, being a leader is a tough job. I've only led for 4.5 years, something like that, right? So in my previous job, I took on a people manager role in addition to being a product owner. And I must say, there is no one size fits it all solution. I keep telling people about agility, new ways of working. It's so much fun. What Sarah says about snackable content, what she said on the panel, I love that. I completely agree. But it's not a one size fits it all solution. You got to look at the individual. And I also ask a lot of questions about that in the panels that were about leadership. How do you actually attend to people's individual needs? People need to be led differently. It's not just like, okay, we're going to go agile and, have a real project management in place that's not driven by waterfall, and where we, are on budget and on time and we deliver the milestones because we're agile now, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm a favor of that, but it doesn't take away the need to look at people. What drives them? And I'm a big fan of intrinsic motivation.
Yeah.
So if you figure out how to motivate your people, what they need, you actually have to stop talking and start listening, which is what makes a great leader, in my opinion.
Very good. And that's exactly what impressed me with yourself. And I look forward to hearing more, working more with you. And thank you so much for your time. And I know that whatever your involvement will be next year will have an impact, Kristin. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris. Lovely talking to you. Take care. Have fun.
I will. And I'm so looking forward to seeing your dad again.
I'm glad that you mentioned him. I'm supposed to say hi. Best regards.
Yeah, good. But tell him I want to have a chat with him.
I will. I'll do that.
All right.
Straight away.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one. Thank you.
You
Take
too.
care. Bye-bye. Talk to you soon.
Bye.